At the beginning of the film, a man and a woman are seen on a date by the poolside. From their conversation, it is revealed that they both work as lifeguards at a water park and are named Cindy and Brad. After finishing their shift, instead of heading home, they choose to stay at the location and relax on the water slide. However, not long after, a machete-wielding individual approaches them and brutally kills them. Sometime later, the 2018 graduating class of Valley Hills High School plans their graduation celebration at a water park called Wet Valley. The idea comes from Alice, a former student who also serves as the event organizer. Like most graduation parties, the senior students are excited to spend time together. Besides swimming and playing on the water slides, they also plan to stay at the park for 3 days. Soon after, a young man named Josh is introduced along with his 2 friends, Chad and Slim. They are part of a band called The Blad and are scheduled to perform at the event. At that moment, an old man named Conrad approaches them, revealing that he works as a security guard and maintenance technician at the water park. Having dedicated 35 years of his life to the job, he emphasizes that he is still strong and fit. Later, while Josh is practicing with his bandmates, he encounters a woman named Kim, who turns out to be his ex-girlfriend. Kim now works as a lifeguard at the water park. Their lighthearted conversation seems to spark jealousy in Tommy, Kim's current boyfriend. Tommy approaches Kim, takes her away, and leaves Josh behind. Meanwhile, a man named Michael receives a call from his son, Josh. During their conversation, Josh invites his father to come to the water park and watch his performance. Additionally, Priscilla is introduced, one of the water park's managers and a 1992 graduate of Valley Hills High School. Slim shares a rumor circulating among the students, claiming that every year, Priscilla selects a male graduate to have a relationship with her. The students enjoy the water park's main attraction, a long and tall tunnel slide. Everything seems to be going smoothly until a group of reckless teenagers decides to slide down while carrying bottles of alcohol, which ultimately leads to an accident. The incident prompts Paul, the water park owner, to intervene and instruct the lifeguards to clean the pool of broken glass and blood. As the evening approaches, Kim and Tommy accidentally run into Josh, who is chatting with Chad and Slim. Josh then asks Tommy for help in finding a cable for setting up the speakers and microphone. Josh takes this opportunity to be alone with Kim and share an intimate moment. Meanwhile, Josh's father is enjoying dinner with Priscilla. They seem to be savoring their meal while engaging in conversation. From their discussion, it is revealed that Priscilla is actually the wife of Paul, the water park owner, while Josh's father is known as one of the wealthiest men in the area. Not long after, Josh and Kim head toward their friends as the Blad's performance time is approaching. Some of their classmates observe from a distance, and one of them comments that something is bound to happen between them. The seniors then enjoy the Blad's performance, which features popular songs from the 80s. While watching the show, Kim pretends not to like Josh's singing and harshly criticizes their instrumental performance. Among the audience, Michael, Josh's father, and Priscilla are also watching. Up until that moment, Tommy remains unaware that his girlfriend is cheating on him. However, the situation takes a turn when one of the seniors records the secret affair between Josh and Kim and shares the video in their group chat. Upon seeing the footage, Tommy becomes furious. He immediately rushes onto the stage and punches Josh in front of everyone. The situation escalates further when, at the same time, Priscilla catches her husband cheating with Alice, the woman introduced earlier in the film. Michael then approaches Josh, trying to calm him down. He also discusses his plan to buy the water park, asking for his son's opinion. Unbeknownst to them, Alice overhears their conversation. She quickly seeks out Paul and confronts him for secretly negotiating the sale of the water park. As Paul's mistress, Alice feels threatened and fears being abandoned once Paul receives the money from the deal. However, a drunken Paul assures her that he will not sell the park, as it is his only source of income. A few hours later, after the seniors have gone to rest and no one is wandering around, someone sneaks into one of the water slides and installs a pair of large metal blades in an X formation inside it. The next morning, Michael is strolling around the water park, unaware that someone is following him. Suddenly, he is shot in the leg and then dragged into a storage room. There, he discovers the corpses of Cindy and Brad, the 2 lifeguards who were killed at the beginning of the film. In the following scene, it is revealed that Tommy has lost his job, while Kim has just broken up with him. Shortly after, Conrad approaches Tommy and tells him that Kim no longer cares about him. Despite this, Tommy still hopes to reconcile with Kim because he is still in love with her. After lunchtime, Conrad, the water park's security guard, activates the water flow to the slides. Unbeknownst to everyone, the metal blades that were installed are still inside one of the slide pipes. Meanwhile, Priscilla, who also works at the water park, spends her time with Slim. In the afternoon, the senior students eagerly participated in a competition with a $500 prize. They were divided into several teams and raced to be the fastest to slide down the water slides. Josh joined the competition with Chad and Slim, but Slim had yet to show up because he was still with Priscilla. Instead of Slim, Tommy arrived. Despite losing his job, Tommy insisted that he was there as a visitor and wanted to join the competition. Unfortunately, the other seniors did not welcome his request and refused to let him participate. As Slim still hadn't returned, Josh and Chad eventually asked Kim to join their team. Shortly after, Priscilla appeared with Paul to start the race. Meanwhile, Tommy, standing idly by, began to notice something suspicious. He saw water leaking from one of the slides and remnants of pipe material, indicating that the slide had been tampered with. Elsewhere, the seniors were already positioned at the top of the slide, ready to start the competition, while Conrad relaxed by the pool, waiting for the event to begin. However, Tommy, growing increasingly certain that one of the slides was unsafe, desperately tried to warn everyone not to go down. Unfortunately, his warning was ignored. The seniors assumed he was just trying to cause trouble after the incident the night before. Within minutes, the event organizers and lifeguards prepared to start the race, with Priscilla coordinating with Conrad below. Unbeknownst to them, dangerous metal blades had been installed inside one of the slides. Panicking, Tommy tried to tell Paul and Priscilla about the lurking danger, but no one believed him. The race went on as planned. One frustrated student even pushed Tommy into the slide. At the same time, 3 girls went down the same slide, and just as Tommy had feared, they were instantly sliced apart by the hidden metal blades. The water flowing from the slide turned red as their body parts spilled out, causing mass panic among the visitors. Conrad, who rushed down from the lifeguard chair, injured his ankle. Meanwhile, Tommy, still inside the slide, was getting dangerously close to the metal blades and had no choice but to hope that no one slid down after him. Conrad tried to warn Priscilla to stop the competition, but their walkie-talkies weren't working properly. As a result, Priscilla remained unaware of the horror below and even invited Paul to take a turn on the slide. Oblivious to the danger, Paul chose the deadly slide. At the same time, Josh ran up and urged everyone to stop the game. Meanwhile, Paul, who had already started sliding, tried to slow himself down to avoid going all the way down. Unfortunately, 2 senior girls and Tommy, who had already been trapped by the metal blades, were unable to escape and met their gruesome end. No one expected the joyful day at the water park to turn into a nightmare. Amidst the chaos, Conrad instructed Kim and Chad to shut off the water pumps in the maintenance room. However, when they entered, they instead discovered the lifeless body of Michael, Josh's father, alongside Slim and 2 other ride attendants. On the other hand, Paul could no longer withstand the force of the rushing water and was eventually dragged down, becoming the next victim of the horrifying metal blades. A bloody tragedy had unfolded, yet no one knew who was behind this gruesome incident. A few days after the Wet Valley incident, a lawyer informed Josh that his father had left him a massive inheritance. However, one unresolved matter remained: the purchase of the Wet Valley Water Park, which was planned to be transformed into a $20 million shopping complex. Since Paul had perished in the tragedy, ownership of the park now fell into Priscilla's hands, granting her the proceeds from the sale. At that moment, Priscilla smiled, and a flashback revealed her memories. It was uncovered that years ago her father had tragically died at the water park. At the time, she was just a child, helplessly witnessing her father's death with no way to intervene. From this, it became clear that Priscilla was the mastermind behind all the murders. Most likely, she had orchestrated this horrifying scenario as both an act of revenge and a means to secure her inheritance. The film then comes to an end.